All right, let's give the other stream here just a second to get started. We've been closed here for just a couple minutes, and we should be up and running. So let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for June 7th, 2022. Just as a heads up here, as we're about to get started, I will be out for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so I'll be back the Wednesday after next. Okay, so I expect we'll have some resolution by then as far as which way the market wants to go. But as of right now, we're still waiting. We do have pretty well-defined support and resistance, though. Okay. So coming into today, neutral on the Qs and SPY, waiting for this base here, which you can see outlined here. We can actually take that and we can extend it, okay, into what we've gotten so far here. And we're waiting on follow through to see which way we're going to go. Now, what's very interesting about today is that we had a gap down to support, and then we got bought. So an interesting kind of test of support, similar to what we got on Monday, which was the gap up that got sold. All right. So we still have to wait until we break out of this base. Now here it is on the daily. Okay, we can highlight that as well. So if we break out above, short-term bullish, potentially could turn into a longer-term bullish bias, but right now we do still have the weekly downtrend in place. All right, and 20 MA up above. So the longer we base here, it is going to be the more bullish. But just to keep things simple here, over last week's high, bullish, under last week's low, bearish, right? That'll trigger the weekly sell setup that we've been waiting to see what happens with. All right. All right. Let's get into today's plays. I didn't think there was a lot today. Took a little bit here to get going. Really kind of didn't really find anything as good as the CORZ. Well, maybe not as good that was available. Mentioned the CORZ just underneath this base. Had a good level 2. Okay, just for that initial drop. I did not catch the second drop, okay, on the CORZ. All right. So kind of just rallied to the top. Nice tight base. Okay, and then it was just a scalp play, level 2 play there off the cores. Nice strong offer at the time, and then eventually broke after doing a nice penny base. Dave, I would have liked to have shorted. That I did. Also, you can see a similar thing here. We had a run up. Tried to short it right there. Not available, though. Okay, and you can see actually spent the rest of the late morning there continuing to sell off. So, all of these would have been nice if you happen to get shaken out there just because that is a 2-cent bounce, which I would have. Then you just look to replay again under 50. That would have been really nice. Fortunately, out of my control. Not available for me to play. And then the other thing was the VSTM. Now, I didn't see the VSTM in the morning, which I don't know if it was playable on this move lower. And then I actually didn't see, I didn't find it at this time, which I would have been looking initially as a short. But then if level 2 looked good and started to get strong, then I would have played the breakout. I don't know what it looked like there really because I wasn't watching it. And then eventually, by the time I found it, there was this base. And also, when looking at this base, I was thinking, well, maybe we break back lower because the market had been moving up. And you can see in this morning, this got sold. So I thought, well, then, the relative weakness may lend itself to more of a short. And I think the 5-minute had caught up at that point. I guess it had broken above. So the 5-minute there, setting up the base as well. So I did play this. Just you can see the transition there on the 2-minute as well. But I did not play it again because I thought, that's a nice move already. We've already erased the morning move. How far is this going to go? Well, the answer was quite a bit further. So I didn't catch any of these additional moves. They don't look all that easy, but I think there was money to be made. And I just don't know some other people in the room did play it. So yeah, some nice tight bases. I mean, that is really pretty. I just thought maybe it was a little bit too far gone at that point, but that is a pretty base there for another breakout. And then there was a lot of other stuff that, this afternoon especially, they give you one penny and then they go back down and you end up with a break even play. So I did try, like the DM was one. Played it as it was breaking above 220, went to 220 and then came back down out at, I think, a little better than 221, and then it went back up and then back down. So there was a lot of that this afternoon where I think VRM was another one. So, not the kind of scalps that we like. So again here, played it over the base, got in, and then went up, and then came right back in, again, out at basically break even. So there's a lot of that this afternoon where, it showed you a little bit, and then it took it away, and then there just wasn't that much follow through. So I did think level 2 plays in general were pretty tough. I think there weren't any that were like terrible where they get you into a lot of trouble. Just a lot of them that just were kind of meandering and then disappointing in how much they were going to move. So, you look at something like what we just looked at, versus the way that the CORZ dropped or the Dave dropped, stuff like that. Just nice continuation and not just down, up, and then do nothing. Did have a call to finish out the day, or I kind of was anticipating actually since the morning to play this LCTX long, but it just never triggered, never broke out. But really nice late day base breakout here. Would have definitely played it, had my order in if it did break out. Here's the daily also. Moving up, I was looking for 160, which would have been 2 Rs for the first target, and then maybe, end of day or 165, 166, something like that. But didn't trigger. You could watch it for tomorrow. If market's bullish again, maybe this breaks 151 tomorrow. All right. I saw something like that on the REDU last week, where it kind of based all day right here, and then the very first thing in the next morning it did the breakout. It happens. This is like not the only example. There have been examples too of I think we did the LX. We were playing and we had something pretty similar. Where first thing in the morning gets going, and we're kind of waiting for this to follow through. So something to just keep an eye on. I won't be here. Like I said, I'll be out for the next 2 weeks. All right, so I will talk to you guys again when I get back. All right. Have a good rest of the day, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a good evening.